And welcome in, female hockey league fans, into a matchup where Manitoba meets Saskatchewan. It's the Winnipeg Ice. It's the Prince Albert Northern Bears. And it's live here tonight on gshowproductions.uscreen.io. As we're in our pregame here, moments away from getting started. As we take a look at this weekend, how it's gone so far. Take a look at yesterday's action. 6 games in total, 5 games that we broadcasted. This will be our 5th broadcast of the day today since we started off with an early one, 8:15, Avros versus the Interlake Lightning. And yeah, hoping for a non-blowout in this one, hoping for a competitive game. Weyburn Goldwing, shout out to them for putting up a 10 spot on the Pembina Valley Hawks today. Really the one true blowout of this showcase so far. But as for these teams, the Winnipeg Ice are still searching for their first win of the showcase. As for the Northern Bears, they faced off against the Interlake Lightning a bit earlier on at the Mutual rink here at Stride Arena. As that game went at 1 p.m. But the Ice haven't played since 10:30 this morning against the Eastman Selects, a game where they were able to come back and tie it up at 2 apiece to go 0-1-1 in this tournament. They'll have 2 games left, this one tonight, and then, of course, tomorrow morning, actually, they'll open things up on the Mutual rink at 8:45 a.m. against the Pembina Valley Hawks. In a game where Pembina Valley, well, they'll have a chance to rebound tonight, potentially, against the Yellowhead Chiefs. So they'll be taking them on. But I expect a fast game here tonight from both teams. These are 2 teams that, have shown great speed throughout their first few games from what we've seen so far. And as for the Winnipeg Ice, look for them to get in on the cycle and look to establish the zone that way. As for the Northern Bears, pretty sure they'll be looking to attack pretty similarly. As for PA last night, really active with their sticks, especially in tight, whacking away at pucks and giving the opposition's goaltenders fits. But as we get underway here, to drop the puck, it's Talia Jones. It's Reed for the Prince Albert Northern Bears, and we are officially underway for game number 15 this weekend out of 22. Thank you so much for joining us this first period, brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store. Be sure to check them out today at 995 Milt-Steagall Drive, as well as their website at cancentralsportscards.com. As early on, the Ice looking to get something going in the offensive zone. Talia Jones has that sticked away by Reed. Reed tries to bank it off the boards, but that one not strong enough to get out for now. It finally does get out to Christensen as Christensen fires this in for Reed. Given chase, first one on it will be Sophia Ota. Ota battling with Reed, gets this loose up to Carvalho down the left side. Carvalho up the boards, ends up missing Cairns, but Carvalho back on it. Is this sent ahead for Hallie Chablik. Chablik protecting the puck along the boards for this Winnipeg Ice team, sends it down to Cairns. Cairns does the same, protects it, and gets it further down low to Carvalho. Now up to the point to Texiera, had to rehandle that as she almost coughed it up at the blue line as she rimmed it around to Kate Cairns. Trying to get the cycle going early on. The Winnipeg Ice, as expected, but nice defense by PA as a stretch pass right behind number 11 in Jersey Anderson. Picked up by Marshall, a clap bomb high of the net. A riser there over the crossbar as Jersey Anderson picks it up in the corner. Now to the point. As that gets sticked away, it'll be Carvalho. Carvalho, 3 Northern Bears around her. No one there to help as she was looking for a draw pass, but that got denied. As flipped into the ice zone. This will be covered up by Gina Plett, number 30 for the Winnipeg Ice. Of course, a rookie last season take an even bigger role with this Ice team this year, potentially, depending on how head coach Eugene Kaminsky will split his starters as the season goes along. As Wozdesensky carries this in up the middle, she pulls up to shoot, just catching a piece of Maggie Schell's blocker. So we got a chance to see her in action last night. Wozdesensky, rebound created with that shot. Nicholas can't put it home. As the Ice, they hold the zone. Hudson, nice job to recover at the blue line to not allow that to get by her, but delayed offside nonetheless, so the Ice had to regroup out. It's Siklenka across to Clement. Clement off the boards to Tran, who Tran scored a highlight reel goal yesterday for the Prince Albert Northern Bears, where they would end up tying the game at 2 apiece with that goal as she went end-to-end, dangled through pretty much the whole Avros squad. As for PA, another Winnipeg team on the schedule tonight, a team that most likely won't give them an inch once they get their game going. Shell, a bit of trouble handling that, but got it to safety to a teammate. It's Christensen up the right side. Now tried to thread it through the middle of the wall, and that one unsuccessful. Chipped in and picked up by Simonson. Simonson across, and now it's flipped up, but flipped over the stick. I believe number 8 in Leah Mitchell. So we are going to get face-off coming up inside the Northern Bears end with 16:28 remaining in this first period of play. 3-1 the shots in favor of the Ice. Still looking for that first goal, though. Plenty of time to do so. As it's work down low. Texiera jumping up into the play. Talia Jones in to help, but it'll be the Northern Bears who are able to escape with the puck. Going down the left side, building up some speed now from their own end are the Northern Bears. That's number 12 and Boy, who finally has that taken away, smothered in the corner by a few Winnipeg Ice players. Texiera trying to feed this up to Adams, but unable to. Robbins picks it up now. Shot from range. Robbins, her own rebound, denied there by the good defensive stick of number 5 and I believe Hoffman. Could be wrong, a bit tough to see the number there as that gets deflected off of PA's stick wide of the net into the corner. Hallie Chablik, a backhand pass, that cut off right away by Clarkson. Trying to feed it back to Clarkson was Hoffman, but that pass unsuccessful. As this just gets fired in by Boyd, she heads off for a change. Texiera lays the body down low against Hoffman, but now Texiera tumbles into the slot. That fanned on by a Northern Bear. Whipped to the slot, intercepted by Walker in the Ice zone, but line still held by Rita. She just fires this in deep. Rims around to Carvalho. Carvalho tries to drop this back to safety, but PA successful on the forecheck here, able to get this puck back. Reed trying to just keep this along the boards. Finally out, it's up to the point. Number 4 in David spins, fires down low. That's to Reed. Reed tries sending it out in front, but meets the back of the net instead. It's the Winnipeg Ice. They start to get a taste of their own medicine as PA tries to get a cycle going, keeping it going. They cannot, as Chablik has it near the blue line. Delayed offside, not going to be called as the Northern Bears take it the other way. Jersey Anderson down the left side, trying to throw it to the net, but that pass off the mark for number 18 in Konechny. Konechny drops this to Siklenka. Nice save by Plett to just get a piece of that. Marshall up to Konechny. Konechny tried to leave it back for Marshall, but this will be intercepted by Kate Cairns. Goes across with the pass to Delacqui as Delacqui feeds this up. Gets by to Carvalho. Has Nicholas head into the net. Carvalho to Nicholas. Oh, she fanned on it. Rebound there. Still a loose puck. The Northern Bears trying to survive. They do for the time being. Hudson shot unable to get through. It met some legs, some traffic in front, and oh! Speaking of penalties, as we have none so far, this will be our first one of the game coming up. The ice pressure, a bit too much for the Northern Bears to handle right now, as it'll send us to a Can Central Sports Cards power play. Can Central Sports Cards and memorabilia. And that. And then, as the Winnipeg Ice looking to capitalize here, Hudson has that glove down. As it's number 27 in the box in Rowan Clement, 2009-born defenseman, hailing from Humboldt, Saskatchewan. As for Hudson, she works that across to Delacqui. Delacqui, her shot, rebound there, but covered up well by the Northern Bears to alleviate the pressure. As it's back down for Delacqui, the Winnipeg native, sends this up to Hudson. Hudson across to number 11 in Temple, who's able to get after it. Temple taken down as she was heading towards the net. Illegal play as no penalty called, as Hudson failed to keep that in. Pressured at the line by Tran. Tran takes a tumble. Now Hudson gains the zone. Feeds it to Temple, but Temple's stick explodes. Crazy when that happens. And an expensive break at that. Those sticks, not cheap as hockey parents know. Seen some fans in the stands too, gesturing to whoever parent that was of the player whose stick broke to, oh, you gotta dish out the money now to buy a new one. I mean, Temple has a backup, I'm sure. Their teammates have backups, so for the time being, have to go to her number 2 or someone else's stick, as that glove down by Maggie Shell. Cross Texiera tried to feed that to a teammate, but denied as Jones tried to let that one-timer go up to Walker, across to Texiera. Texiera to the net. It's tipped on net and saved and covered up by Shell. With 8 seconds remaining in the Rowan Clement penalty. 8 seconds remaining in the Ice power play, where they got 9 shots in total this game so far through the first half of this period. Just about finding that right execution, being able to I'll let you know. As for Talia Jones, about to take the draw against Wallen, as it's won by Jones. 6 seconds remain. It's over to Walker. Walker towards the net. Met traffic there. It didn't get through cleanly. Clement now out of the box. We are back to even strength now. A power play brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. As the net off in the crease occupied by Maggie Shell. For Kate Cairns to take the draw here now at even strength. Wins it towards the boards, but that picked off by Reed. Reed sends that across to Anderson as Anderson scoops it up along the boards. Anderson making her move towards the net. Rebound there. Swooped away by the Winnipeg Ice. Good defense by this squad in front of their goaltender in Gina Plett. Jersey Anderson towards the net now. That shot off the side by the post. And that occupied by Plett. Up to Siklanka. Siklanka sends it back to Jersey Anderson. Takes this off her skate, fires a shot. It ends up going wide of the net after being blocked on the way through. Hudson, she'll fire this off the backboards to Delacqui. Delacqui couldn't receive it cleanly as she gets hounded there by a Prince Albert Northern Bear forechecker. So the Ice finally able to get it out off of Clement all the way down. It'll be waved off for an icing. Maggie Shell contemplated coming out of her own net to play that, left it for Clement. As Clement has this turned over up the left side, it's Chablik, has Cairns, but a nice defensive play. Take that pass away from the Ice. I can't make out who it was from the Northern Bears, but great recovery on what could have been a dangerous chance for this Ice team, and that was Siklanka, who ended up crouching down to block that pass. Great anticipation from number 14. Draw one towards the corner. Nicholas and a Northern Bear fighting, gets to the crease. Shell tries to paddle it away, still behind, looking for a wraparound as the Ice can't capitalize. Nicholas, of course, a goal already today. The game-tying goal against Eastman this morning would have loved to add to her totals there. That not to be. As for Chloe Nicholas along boards, pins up her girl. It'll be taken away in support by the Northern Bears. It's played up. Number 5 in Hoffman against the other number 5. And Oda on the way down. Rebound there, but controlled well enough by Plett. Not there as it's into the net for the Northern Bears. They open up the scoring. 1-0 they lead. Courtesy of number 5 in Lendon Hoffman. With that goal brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. Just the Ice couldn't handle that bobbling puck in their own end. The pressure from the Northern Bears. Plett's first shot that she ends up saving. Rebound kicked out. Far up into the slot, which allowed for PA to send a shot back on, and just couldn't find a way. But there, the Ice find a way to put it in the back of the net for the equalizer. Banging away at it. And guess who? Gabby Robbins opened up the scoring for the Ice today and opens up the scoring for them again on the scoreboard this evening. Gabby Robbins always getting to the most dangerous places on the ice. And even when she's not in the most dangerous place to score like we saw this morning, she can still fire them in. She's got a goal scorer's touch, it seems like. And here she goes again. Nice turnover forced by Robbins. A better save by Shell. She stared down number 9 on that point-blank chance. As it's Mitchell trying to go wide on Texiera. Took it to the net. With that left behind for Robbins to take advantage of it. Splits the Northern Bears D and dishes it off to Texiera. Texiera, she puts on the moves. Now she gets tripped up in the process. No call from the referee. So you let that go. It's all the way back down to the Northern Bears end, but chipped out. Given chase on it, but taken away. It's that puck from Mitchell by Cairns. That long shot gloved down by Shell with 8:36 remaining. 13-5 the shots in favor of the Winnipeg Ice. They've just recently tied this game too, courtesy of Gabby Robbins. 1-1 is the score. It's that draw won by the Northern Bears. D-to-D it goes to Siklanka. Siklanka off the boards, able to just get it past Delacqui. As given chase is Marshall. Has a teammate heading to the net, fed it to her, but great defensive play by Hudson on the coverage to disrupt that pass. On the 2-on-1 chance for the Northern Bears. Chablik off the wall to herself. Gets it back. Chablik slithers through. That shot glove down by Shell to make the save. Really underrated player in the MFHL is Hallie Chablik. Just does so many little things right, and it's very deceptive with the puck at points, as we saw there. She's stilled with the puck, high IQ, and a player that the Ice will be relying on for sure in big moments, I'd say, as the season goes along. Second-year player Sofia Wazasensky looking to challenge Siklanka, but she backs off. Regroups as she sends that down low. It's Adams who's denied, or sorry, Temple in tight, number 11 for the Ice. She'll remain out there with Wazasensky and Chloe Nicholas. As Wazasensky just wins this to Temple, gets it back. to Symes. Symes back to Temple, but Temple can't get it back to her deep partner, or defensive teammate. As this out of the Northern Bears zone, it's Tran. Has a teammate with her, but Tran shot unable to go through. Blocked up well there by Sophia Ota. Is that up to Nicholas? Nicholas trying to juke her way through Clement. Clement doing a good job of handling her at first, but Nicholas gets the last laugh as she got that by to Temple. Temple couldn't receive that pass cleanly, as it's now the Northern Bears breaking up again. It's Tran, skilled with the puck, just decides to send that on net, trying to get her own rebound, but Ota can test her all the way. Clement in to help, or rather, number 22 in Gracie Reed. This is back to Simonson. Across to her deep partner as Boyd tried to send that in, but got caught up at the line. So that ends up bringing a face-off just outside of the Winnipeg ice zone. So it's Jones to take the draw for the ice. Wins that against Hoffman. Hoffman, the goal scorer in this game for the Northern Bears, to open things up, but the ice shortly after would tie things up, courtesy of Gabby Robbins, her second here on day 2. Not sure what her stats were yesterday, as Robbins sends us all the way in. A shell out of her own net. As this taken away just past the red line by Texiera in the neutral zone. Has that knocked away off the stick of Wallen, sent all the way in to the ice zone as Walker sends this to Robbins. Robbins, bad turnover. Mitchell sends it towards the slot with a pass. That unconnected on to Hoffman. For as good of a period that Robbins has had, that could have been a pretty brutal turnover, but luckily the Ice weren't penalized for that. As that pass all the way out, but it was touched first, so no icing will be called on the play. As Hudson first one on it, up to Carvalho. Carvalho to Cairns as the second-year Ice player tries to drop that back to Carvalho, but unable to find number 16. The Northern Bears from behind their net try to send this one out. Unable to at first. Hudson initially held the line. Hudson has it back, gets it to Cairns. Cairns trying to make her way through. Loses possession of the puck, but it's Hudson who gets it back to Chablik. Chablik, nice move from number 15 to maintain possession of the puck. She'll get it right back down the right side. Chablik fires just wide of the net. Might have caught a piece of Shell's blocker. It's to Carvalho. Carvalho, her pass to Hallie. Chablik fails, but Chablik gets it right back. Somehow finds it, loses her balance. No penalty coming on the play. The ref's not deeming that a trip or a call worthy of being made. It's Delacqui trying to shimmy shake past Anderson, but Anderson, good physical play along the boards to tie her up. So Anderson tries to kick it to herself, but nice job by Carvalho to scoop this up. She'll circle around her own net. Fires this up over the stick of Wozniacki as that took an unfortunate bounce. As icing will be called, thought they were going to wave it off for a sec. As for Reed, loses that draw to Wozniacki. This play D to D, Delacqui to Hudson. Hudson on the backhand shovels this up the left side as it's connected on the stick of Carvalho. Carvalho flips this in. It'll be Hallie Chablik first one on it. Carvalho went off for a change. Wozniacki now controlling this puck, strong on it. And gets it over to Symes. Symes just elects to send this down low. Had no shooting lane. It's to Temple. Of course, Temple, with a new stick in this game, it's shattered on her earlier. Just trying to receive a pass. Only seen that happen a few times in my lifetime. Sometimes the sticks, they're just ready to pop. on the next contact it takes, right? And that just happened to be the case for Temple. Is trying to get too fancy. Ota. She has that sticked away by Tran. Good forecheck by Tran to force the turnover as along the wall. The Northern Bears try to look to get to work. Wallen, first one on it down low. She surveys her options, sends it up to the point. Now fed across to Sikalenka. Sikalenka catches up to that puck and shovels it down low with the backhand. As that, Chloe Nicholas to number 11 in Temple. Temple has that knocked off her stick with 2:42 remaining. It'll be Texiera who carries it, and Texiera to the middle, fires, shot glove down by Maggie Schell. The Yorkton, Saskatchewan native, 2008 born goaltender. He's faced 16 shots so far in this contest tonight, 5 put up on net for the Northern Bears. And a bit different for them against a Winnipeg opponent today compared to yesterday, as the Ice, hold that thought for just a moment, they're pressuring down low. Robbins tried to feed it to Talia Jones, makes it on a Jones stick initially. Jones banks it off the boards to Walker. Walker down low to Callie Adams, as Adams now makes her way towards the right face-off circle. Shot denied by Schell. Rebound taken away too as she covers it up. 18-5 the shots now for the Ice. I'll repeat, 18-5 the shots. And as for the Northern Bears, they outshot the Avros last night, came away with a loss. Well, tonight a bit of a different story. It's already a tie game, and for the Northern Bears, trailing way more in the shots to start things off. But honestly, this is a Winnipeg Ice team who shown us before they can put up a high quantity of shots. Seen it many times before in regular season games and playoff games. Most notably last year against the Avros in Game 5, put up over 40 shots against Almeida. Ooh. I wonder if we'll get a chance to see number 35 tomorrow in the crease for the Avros. As the play whistled dead, with a minute 36 remaining in this opening frame. Live here from Stride Place in Portage La Prairie for the 2025 Central Plains Capital Showcase. As this banked up to the point, held in by Delacqui, as Delacqui sends that in the direction of Chablik. The Northern Bears unable to rim this out. It'll just be sent down low by the Ice again. Carvalho taking this puck away. Looked like Cairns wanted it. Cairns was heading towards the net. No rebound for her, though. Is it Schell who smothers yet another shot up and covers it to give her team a bit of a breather? As Reed loses that draw to Cairns, controlled by the Ice. As quick puck movement here from the girls in blue and white. As Christensen leaves that for Marshall. Marshall trying to feed this up to Reed, but covered well by Hudson. Nice little backhand saucer pass over, and now it's to Cairns. Cross ice feed to Jones. No, that's Chablik. She can't do anything with it. She didn't take it cleanly. Trying to keep it down low, sending it there, but taken away by the Northern Bears as they look to get to transition. The linesman, not their best friend there, as it got blocked up into skates. The Northern Bears send this in deep as PA gets 3 fresh forwards out onto the ice. For the Winnipeg Ice, it's Carvalho who's going to skate with it. Carvalho drops this off to Cairns with 24 seconds left. Cairns basically ridden out along the boards by Tran, but Cairns able to continue to fight. It's over to Symes. Through a screen, that denied by Schell, I believe. That got on net for a save. As this sent all the way down into the ice end. Symes being pressured by not 1, but 2 Northern Bears, but she's going to protect this nicely. Sent it to safety down low. And with that, we go to our first intermission, tied up at 1 apiece. What do we tell you before the game? Called it. Both of these teams are looking to get to the cycle. A strong forecheck from the Northern Bears. Strong cycle from the Ice. But what these teams are going to be focusing on next is how do you start to break through the crux of the D-zone coverage to the slot, to the house, and try to find a lot more high-quality chances. Well, that's going to be the big test coming up here for the next 40 minutes, these next 20 for sure. As the Northern Bears opened up the scoring, but the Ice came right back and ended up seeing Gabby Robbins get on the score sheet as a goal scorer for the second time today. She scored earlier this morning. We're going to send it to a promo screen. We're going to show you Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia's commercial coming up next. Don't go anywhere, anybody. Game 15 of the Central Plains Capital Showcase, brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, as well as Move in Fitness and Performance Elite Prospects and Terrico.
Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia offers the widest selection of sports cards and signed memorabilia in the city. For dedicated casual and new collectors, Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia has everything a collector could ask for. Everything we sell is stored with care, and with help from our knowledgeable team, we'll help you find exactly what you're looking for. We carry Upper Deck hockey card brands like Series 1 and 2, The Cup, Ultimate, SPA, and plenty more. So what are you waiting for? Come down to Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia, Winnipeg's premier sports cards and memorabilia store.
And welcome back in to Stride Place Arena in Portage la Prairie, Manitoba, where we got ourselves a tied hockey game heading into the next 20 minutes of play between the Winnipeg Ice and the Prince Albert Northern Bears. The goal scorer for the Winnipeg Ice was Gabby Robbins. She ended up tying it up. For Prince Albert, they ended up opening up the scoring courtesy of Leah Mitchell. As we take a look at the games that have happened today, all the scores can be found on Central Plains Capitals or CentralPlainsFemaleCapitals.com as they get updated somewhat live. But yeah, we're down to, I guess, 3 games remaining, 1 game remaining technically, as the Elhead Chiefs and Pembina Valley Hawks are underway right now on the other arena. But as for this game, 19-5 the shots in favor of the Winnipeg Ice. It was a goal by the Prince Albert Northern Bears where they worked really hard for it, didn't let up on the pressure. Helped out by some not so great rebound control by Pled on the initial shot that allowed them to get second and third chances on net. But since then, the Winnipeg Ice have done a really good job of limiting those types of chances and have really carried most of the play. 19 shots for, it's just about putting a bit more on the board now. As our first period was brought to you by Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia. This next period is going to be brought to you by Movement, Fitness, and Performance, an independent local Winnipeg gym. Be sure to check them out today at 1111 Winnipeg Avenue, building number 3. We're also brought to you by Elite Prospects, the most informative hockey player database on the internet today, or as they like to call it by their slogan, the web. Be sure to visit their website at eliteprospects.com, where I'm sure you can find almost all of these players' stats that are competing this weekend in Portage la Prairie. As the Ice make their way back out onto the ice, it's the Northern Bears waiting for them. It'll be the Northern Bears going from our right to our left this period to attack, and for the Ice defending from the left and attacking to our right. As we await all of the Ice players to make it back onto the ice. And for the Ice coaching staff, the Kaminski's on the bench. Eugene, the head coach, his daughter, Jessica, It's a bit baffled right now by all her players coming out late. There's Carvalho, Chablik, Delacqui, and Nicholas all making it to the bench. We're ready to go. We're set for period number 2 from Stride Place Arena on this Saturday night. Game number 15 in this showcase. It's period 2 underway. Symes ended up turning it over along the boards. It's that pass into the slot. Found nobody. Found a point girl in Boy. As Boy pressured by Adams. Along the wall, there ends up in tight on Plett trying to find it. She does to cover it up. With 19:34 remaining. So it's Marshall. Marshall, her shot from the point ends up off the backboards. Denied on that rebound was Clarkson trying to bank that home against Plett. Boy, her pass down low cut off right away by Cairns. But Cairns' pass fanned on that a bit as it's not strong enough to clear the stick of Jersey Anderson. Texiera, first one on it in the corner. She tries to shield this away from a few Northern Bears players. This all the way out. And now chased down now by Carvalho. Carvalho shielding the puck, heading towards the net. She ends up knocking Davidge's stick out of her hands. This Chavlik tried to get possession down low for the ice, unable to. Glove down and held in at the line by Texiera. Sends it down to Chavlik. Has Cairns calling for it in the slot. Cairns fans on it. She ended up at the side of the Northern Bears net. Marshall, she'll just unload a shot. Long rebound forced out off the pad of Plett off of that shot. As Wazdesensky out there. That shot wide of the net for the Prince Albert Northern Bears. Is down low. PA looking to get to work on this forecheck some more. As Texiera, quick little backhand feed up to number 11 in Temple, who she'll lose possession of it. Offside will be called on the play as the Northern Bears touched it up. So we'll be just outside of the ice zone on the face-off. It's a nifty move on the draw by Wazdesensky. Put it through the legs of centerman she was going against, but couldn't catch up to the puck far enough afterwards. This pass up to Hoffman. Hoffman with a goal already, looking for a second, just goes wide of the net. Missing the outstretched glove of Plett. Off the backboards this goes. Layla Hoffman to the slot for Tran, but she fans on that shot. And number 6. She had it knocked off her stick. Just at the red line by the Northern Bears bench. Symes whips this back behind the back to Ota. Ota's pass not going to go for Nicholas as she got knocked down. Thought there could have been a bit of interference there. But at the same time, it would have been a pretty marginal call. As Mitchell, she unloads a shot, Plett right into the crest of her jersey. The Winnipeg Ice logo getting some action. Talia Jones loses his face-off draw. It'll be sent out now by this Northern Bears squad, or by this Ice squad into the Northern Bears zone. Sent all the way down for what's going to be an icing for Prince Albert. With 16:45 remaining in this period. Talia Jones to take the draw for the Ice, loses it to number 22 in Reed. Northern Bears try to fire this up the wall, unable to. It's taking a tumble now, PA. Number 22 in read along the boards. That's across ice to Texiera. Sends it right back where she got it from to Walker. Texiera gets it right back. That pass up to Adams ends up missing, as it'll be Siklanka who will bring this in. Siklanka looking to unload the shot, but ends up firing this wide of the net. Fanned on it in tight. As the Northern Bear takes a tumble, it's Robbins who sends it out. 16 minutes left on the clock. Texiera battling along with Cairns against some Northern Bears. Jersey Anderson can send that across to a teammate. Chablik laid offside on the play as she entered the zone a bit too early. So it'll be fired back down to Clement. Rowan Clement over to Siklanka, up to Wallen. Wallen, that short pass can't go for her. She fans on it, so it'll be picked up by Texiera. Down the right side, gets rubbed out along the wall, cut off by Jersey Anderson. It's a nice back check there from number 11. So it'll be Marshall. Looks to gain a step on Symes. She may very well have it. She protects, shielding with one arm shot on net. Saved by Plett, which ends up sending the Northern Bears squad to the power play. It'll be brought to you by Elite Prospects. Elite Prospects, the most informative hockey player database on the web. All of their information can be found at eliteprospects.com. As that shot from the point smothered by Plett. Her teammates doing a good job of allowing her to see that. As for this Winnipeg Ice squad, a pretty solid penalty-killing team throughout their history. Among some of the top penalty-killing units in the league every season. You wouldn't expect much else from a well-coached team in the Winnipeg Ice. As the Northern Bears work this on the outside to the top of the point, deflected wide of the net. There is Plett. Unchallenged that time. It'll be to Boy. Boy reverses side switches with Konechny as that shot unable to make its way through, blocked by Hudson's shin pad. As the Ice able to send it all the way down. Shell out of her own net. Left that for a teammate. Got to be careful as Wasisensky right there to pressure. Wasisensky forces a bad pass all the way down for what won't be an icing. Not fast enough to make its way down that far to the ice. It will be Hoffman. Her shot unable to go through. It'll be Ota up to Marshall. That shot deflected out of play. Ota ended up turning it over to Marshall. With 39 seconds remaining on the Prince Albert power play. As for Jones, ends up losing this draw. It's held at the point by Marshall. Her shot tipped wide of the net that time. Off of the stick of Reed. The Ice able to send this all the way out as it forces the Northern Bears to regroup in their own end. D-to-D pass, that not able to make its way through as it went off the shin pad of Jones. Jones gets a stick on the puck there, forces this. Has to be a bit awkward to receive for the Northern Bears as they try to find a way to get back into the zone and quickly here, but not much time left on this power play with only 4 seconds remaining now. As Symes, she'll head straight to the bench. Back to even strength. As Tran will carry this in. Drops it off for Christensen. Christensen tried to use Texiera as a screen, but hit her stick instead. So it ends up out of play. 13:03 remains in the second period. Shots in favor of the Northern Bears to start this period off. 6-1 they lead in that category. So they've had most of the offensive zone time. Beautiful feed, but an even better save by Plett. She was ready for it. Outstanding by number 30. But a defensive breakdown for the Winnipeg Ice. Fed through to a wide open Northern Bear player. As the Ice got to thank their goalie for that stop. As Carvalho, nice move by her, shot just off the mark. As it ended up deflecting off of a stick and over. As the Northern Bears flip this back into the ice zone. Turnover forced at the blue line. But it'll be the Ice. Won't be able to go the other way. Down to attack on the north. As Jones wins this against Wallen. D-to-D the Ice go as it's sent up to Talia Jones. Got that pass from Adams. As Gabby Robbins is also out there for the Ice. So this will be a face-off coming up to the glove hand side of Shell. Talia Jones to take the draw again. This time, losing it to number 5 in Hoffman. As this played up the boards, cut off by Hudson. Her shot wide of the net. It'll be Delacroix who tried to whack that back down but couldn't. As the Northern Bears make their way down on the ice. As Wallen couldn't get that loose puck off of that shot from Christensen. Christensen back checking on Delacroix as Delacroix just decides to send this in deep as she was running out of real estate to work with. Down that left side, Robbins, physical play down low, forces a turnover. It's to Nicholas. Nicholas tries to feed it to the slot, but her teammate contested. Texiera unable to hold the line. She just goes D-to-D as they regroup in the neutral zone. Off the stick of Temple, all the way down. Wasisensky, Temple, and Nicholas, the forwards, out for this Ice group at the moment. On D, Walker and Texiera. For the Northern Bears, Christensen goes off for a change. It's Shell coming out of her net, leaves this for Boy. Boy being pressured by Nicholas, but evades it nicely. As this off of an ice skate and maybe a potential break for Wallen, along with Clarkson. That shot scores! Was only a matter of time for the Northern Bears. They've been the better team throughout the first half of this period. And they're able to capitalize off of a bad bounce off of an Ice defenseman at the blue line. Ends up going off of an ice skate right to the Northern Bears, and they create that 2-on-1 on that rush. Beautiful execution, great pass, great shot. Not much Plett could do on that one. So it was placed perfectly. So with that goal brought to you by Elite Prospects, it's the Northern Bears who are up on this Ice team once again. How did the Ice respond? Well, we'll find out throughout the next 10 minutes and 30 seconds of this period. As that point shot, Symes meets shin pad, so goes wide of the net. Ota tries to attempt a shot on net, but that blocked by a stick of a Northern Bear. Didn't even get close to the crease. And now another bobble of the puck getting between the legs of Symes onto the stick of Reed, who ends up being denied on that chance. Didn't get a lot of it on that Plett save. And not a cursed spot right now for the Winnipeg Ice. Same exact side. Same exact spot at that blue line. That puck is bounced not in their favor off of their players' skates or through it. As for Tran, down low, got closed off as the Ice work this to safety. Trying to get it out, and they do, as that off the stick of a Northern Bear. It'll be sent to Delacqui as Delacqui. Nice shot to get this to Robbins as Robbins sends this in deep. It'll be number 14 in Siklanka who's pressured. Turnover forced by the ice as it's Adams who gets it to Hudson through a screen. That shot not able to get through. Jones tries kicking it through, but ends up being blocked all the same. Hudson touches this with a high stick. Touches it right afterwards, so that means we get a stoppage in the play. 9:21, and yeah, for the Ice, only 2 shots this period. For the Northern Bears, they got 9 registered so far. A big reason why they're up right now. As we get into the bottom half of this period. Siklanka over to Clement. Clement off the boards, gets it to Mitchell. Mitchell lost a handle on it, lost sight of it, and ended up being a delayed offside. Allows for the Ice to break their way out. It'll be Temple. Has Wasilewski heading to the net. Decides to just send it down below along the end boards to get to Wasilewski that way. Wasilewski tied up in to help. Believe Temple. She sends it to the front of the net where Nicholas was there but covered well as the Northern Bears look to catch the Ice off guard. Mitchell going one-on-one. Has Hoffman with her. Hoffman can't unload that shot. Tries to unload on a rebound. Loose puck still there. Oh, what a paddle save by Plett. Sticking that out to disrupt the chance that Jersey Anderson just had. Plett's had to do this a few times tonight. It's always worked out in her favor for her to stop it, but that time, the desperation of that poke check proves vital in keeping that out of the back of the net. And for this Northern Bears team, they just keep taking advantage of open ice that is seemingly open in the Ice's coverage. Winnipeg, that is, as they get it back. Low slot chance, Chablik denied in tight by Shell. What an opportunity there for 15 to get her team back tied. To register their 3rd shot of this period. Shots getting closer to being even now. 21-16 only for Winnipeg in that category. This is Northern Bears as expected. They will keep skating and keep coming at you. Not going to make it easy. It's a great test for this Winnipeg team on this Saturday night. You're, of course, watching on gshowproductions.uscreen.io, and Hallie Chablik called down. I believe so anyways. Oh, just kidding. Hallie Chablik's the one who gets called. No, I thought it was the Ice who did end up taking the penalty, but Chablik ended up on the ice. It all happened so fast, so thought that maybe it was Prince Albert who got it, but that's not the case. It's an Elite Prospects power play for the Northern Bears as it's worked to Marshall. That shot gloved down by Plett. Really nice save through traffic there from number 30. Is draw 1 by the Winnipeg Ice as they're just able to almost get it out. Somehow the Northern Bears held the line, but finally is sent all the way down by the Ice. On a lookout, Shell left that one almost in a dangerous position as Robbins was coming in hard to try to get to that puck. Hudson off the glass ended up going to the body of Davidge. As Davidge retreats in her own end now. Threads that pass up ice to a wide open teammate. Got it to Tran, but that pass a bit behind Tran and didn't allow her to do anything with it. Marshall being pressured by Robbins. Robbins loses an edge. She'll circle back to the bench, go off for a change. As all the way down for an icing. This goes. The 52 seconds remaining in the Hallie Chablik hooking penalty. As for Wozniacki, she ends up winning this draw towards Walker. But Walker ended up turning it over. As Walker back on it, just past the red line, sends this in deep into the Northern Bears zone. Marshall, first one on to retrieve it, tries to spin away from Wozniacki, but Wozniacki has her pinned. Almost able to make it through two players was number 8, but not to be for Sophia. As Tran makes her way down. Tran trying to dangle her way through, but this time not to be for number 6. This all the way down back into the Northern Bears zone. No icing called on the play as it was waved off immediately by the linesman closest to the benches. Is this left for Clement? Clement around her own net, trying to build up some speed as we're back to even strength. Hoffman across one. Great kick save there by Plett. Rebound still loose. Plett finally covers it up. With 5:09 remaining in the second period of action, it really has been all Northern Bears through this period. They trailed 19-5 in shots heading in. It's 21-19 in favor of the Ice only in shots now. Whole period later almost. Crazy how momentum can swing in this game we love so much as that pass way off the mark for Sikalenka. She was calling for it. Her teammate couldn't locate her. For the Northern Bears, of course, hailing from the Saskatchewan Female U18 AAA Hockey League. Just about middle of the pack last season in the standings. And this weekend, even though it's a showcase tournament, I've been really impressed from what I've seen from them. Oh, the Saskatchewan scene just so much different because, well, a big change between them and Manitoba in terms of how they're different is, if Winnipeg were in Saskatchewan, for example, you wouldn't be bound to play for one of these Winnipeg teams. You could be recruited by the Eastman Selects, the Central Plains Capitals, the Westman Wildcats, for example. In Saskatchewan, not being bound to regions allows for a lot of skill to be paired together at points, and the Northern Bears for sure looking like they got themselves a talented squad this season. Is this to Boy? Boy, her pass cross ice misses. This is all the way to Delacqui. Delacqui now maneuvers her way up, passing it up the left side. It's across to Chablik. Chablik feeds a teammate. Backhand chance. Shell denies. Cairns in front. It's a great feed by Chablik to get that puck to a wide open Kate Cairns. And Cairns, a nice idea, trying to beat Shell with the deke, trying to wait her out, but Shell, her patience rewarded. Great positioning, comes up with a monster save. And both these goaltenders come up with big saves as this game has gone along. It's Talia Jones. Ends up losing that draw to Marshall. This ends up hopping over an ice player's stick. Allows for Simonson to make it past the red line and send that in deep just before she hit the ice blue line. As in the corner, the ice being pressured. Gabby Robbins ties up her check along the boards. Is now the ice able to get this out? It's number 17 in Talia Jones. Loses possession of the puck, tried to drop it back. Jones gets it right back. Sends this in deep for Texiera. Texiera tries to slither her way past number 20 in Simonson, but denied there by number 20 Simonson. On the puck again, off the boards to Jersey Anderson. Anderson up to Clarkson. Clarkson trying to fend off Wozniacki. Great play by Wozniacki all the way down to shut that chance down for Clarkson. As players run into each other, Wozniacki driving to the net. Oh, almost able to put it home, but not quite. She just got her stick lifted. The ice. Maybe that effort from Wozniacki is what they need to put up even more pressure here to end off the period. Score 2-1 currently in favor of the Northern Bears. They are considered the home team in this game here tonight, as Ota can't send that out. Tran tries to dangle through, but met by multiple Ice players, their sticks, to cut that off. As it's up to Wozdesensky. Took that pass from Temple. Wozdesensky trying to barrel her way towards the net, but lost the puck in the process. Temple in for support. Pass in front of the net, but no one home for that chance for Winnipeg. Hudson one-touches this to Delacqui. It's up to Temple. Feeds this to Chablik. Chablik, her shot fired on rebound for Kate Cairns. Puck still loose. Scores! Hallie Chablik. Big time goal for a big time player. Ties it up at 2 apiece. And never quits on the play. She had a really good shift before this. Creates again into the offensive zone, and after Cairns gets stopped, tried to get her own rebound. Chablik follows up with that extra support. So that goal brought to you by Elite Prospects. So we're into the final minute of play of the second period. So we will be getting an interference call coming up, as that'll send us to a movement, fitness, and performance power play. With 55 seconds to go, the Ice on the power play for another time in this game. It's Sikalenka who goes to the box for the Northern Bears, and is this where we start to see the momentum shift, where we even head into the third period of action? Unable to be cleared out, Texiera holds the line. It's to Carvalho. Up to Texiera. It's to Cairns, to Carvalho. Carvalho's shot sputters its way through to the crease and turned aside by Maggie Schell. .1 seconds remaining in this frame. 1:43 left on the Sikalenka penalty. Texiera shot deflected on the way through. It goes wide of the net. Cairns up top to Texiera. That shot through a screen, but this time into the breadbasket. The Northern Bears logo hitting it dead on. It's that shot from Texiera on Maggie Schell. Cairns will remain out there to take the draw. Wins this back to Ota. Ota to Carvalho. Haven't called her name much during this period, but no matter what, it's always looking to make an impact. Number 16 weaves her way through, down below into the zone. Passes it to a wide open Ota. 6 seconds left. Feeds this back to Carvalho. That shot through, but unable to get that rebound where the Ice. Trying to get it to the most dangerous spot of the Ice there, which is in the slot. Should I say one of the most dangerous spots on the Ice. But yeah, 2-2 after 40 minutes. An entertaining game. It'll be an Ice power play remaining on the clock for 1:05 seconds, as number 14 for the Northern Bears in Sikalenka is in the box. But Hallie Chablik, talked about her already in this game, how she does all the little things right. Well, did the little things right there on that goal to tie things up, to even it up at 2 apiece after the first 40 minutes of play. This period was brought to you by Movement, Fitness, and Performance, as well as Elite Prospects. We're going to send it to a promo screen, and we'll be back for the finale of this one, the third period call, for the remaining 20 minutes. See you soon. there's no OT in this.
Oh, okay, just goes 6. I kind of figured.
Welcome back into Stride Place Arena on your home for the 2025 Central Plains Capital Showcase on gshowproductions.uscreen.io. As, we got into the final period of play for this one, game number 15 in this year's showcase, between the home side for this matchup in the Prince Albert Northern Bears taking on the visiting team for this matchup in the Winnipeg Ice. As we're going to change this period to the third, and our third period is going to be brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. A period where the Ice end up getting some good chances late in the period. The late play in the period for them, their late plays, I should say, really kind of salvaged a not so great period for this Winnipeg Ice team. For context, they led 19-5 in shots after the first 20 minutes. While the shots are now 27-19, Winnipeg also hasn't had a lead yet today in any of the games that we've seen. This being their second, of course, on the network. They lost 2-1 to Weyburn yesterday in their showcase opener. But I think for Eugene Kaminsky, his coaching staff, you gotta like the potential you see from your group in terms of how they're able to cycle the puck, create pressure, create chances, and only really their third game together as a group this year. Of course, this team has a lot of returning talent. As we see Eugene Kaminsky and his daughter Jessica Kaminsky enter onto the ice. But for the Prince Albert Northern Bears, I've been really impressed watching them this season. Never really sure what to expect from Saskatchewan teams since never really see them play here on the network. But every Saskatchewan team we've seen throughout the past few years, they all one thing in common. They're really good skating teams. This Prince Albert Northern Bears team has skated with some of the best teams from this league in the MFHL already throughout this tournament. Last night in the Winnipeg Avros, only losing 3-2. And here, in this game, they were up first goal and then another goal to go up 2-1. It's about holding things down for them and maybe adding a bit more offense in this period coming up. They're going to be starting off on the penalty kill, though. As for this Winnipeg Ice squad, they'll get a bit more power play time to work with. This power play will be brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. Be sure to check out their website to find out why at terrico.ca. We're off for period number 3. The final game for these two teams on this day 2 from Stride Place Arena in Portage La Prairie, Manitoba. Robbins loses an edge here early on, right in the corner. As this sent all the way down for a successful clear for Prince Albert on this penalty kill. Aaliyah Texiera, her pass, trying to get that all the way up to Robbins, but cut off by number 27 and Clement. As Clement fires this down, Jersey Anderson giving chase, having to maneuver a bit to get that puck to safety was Walker, and she did to Texiera. Almost lost the puck due to some sticky ice. Is that sometimes the case with fresh ice surfaces here in the province of Manitoba? Is this all the way down once again, chasing after a connect knee, almost a glorious chance for her there. It was a glorious chance, but she puts it wide. As we are back to even strength. Some good shorthanded chances here for the Northern Bears, who come out with some purpose to start off this third period of action. It's down to Chablik, up top to Symes. Symes back to Chablik. She tries to unload, still holding on to it. Chablik, and have a bit of patience, sends it back to the point to Ota, whose shot is tipped in front. I believe that might have caught a stick. Number 16 in Carvalho, as Symes up into the play. Carvalho covering at the point. She gets beat, but that pass not on the tape for Christensen. Trickles all the way down below the Winnipeg Ice goal line. Icing waved off. Christensen almost rides out Ota into the boards. Ota right back into the play. By her own net calling for a pass. She'll receive just that as Ota up the boards gets this to Chablik. Chablik on the backhand decides to regroup further down in her zone. Trying to find some space to work this puck out. It's sent across to Ota again off the boards. That read perfectly by Hoffman. Hoffman already a goal in this game. Looking for another one. Couldn't get that one towards the net. So it got blocked on its way through. Kay Cairns makes a physical play. Hit along the boards before sending that in. Goes off for a change. As it'll be Simonson who looks to go for a skate. Simonson almost gets her pocket picked by Chloe Nicholas, and that's exactly what happens as Simonson takes a tumble at the ice blue line. It's down low for Delacqui. Sends a pass onto the tape of Temple, but unable to maintain possession of it. It's up to Konechny, going one-on-one with Hudson. Konechny tries to shoot, but a great defensive stick from Hudson. Disrupt that shot from even making it on net. As Hudson sends this. And Braden Wozdesensky ice still struggled to get it out. As it's been a ferocious Prince Albert Northern Bears forecheck throughout this one. Good active sticks in the Winnipeg Ice's grill as Temple sends that in deep. Gets past Shell as that pass cut off by Callie Adams almost intercepts it. So this will be played up now. The number 11 in jersey, Anderson. Anderson shielding her body from Wozdesensky. That shot turned aside by Plett. High slot. That chance for the Northern Bears. The right face-off circle now up to Siklenka. Siklenka's shot deflects wide of the net. As haven't seen many shots to start off here throughout the first 4 minutes of this period. Both teams defending very well. Just battling to try to break out consistently, too. Another turnover forced by the Northern Bears on their forecheck. Marshall in the corner. That pass towards the slot cut off right away. So it was too congested, that lane was. As all the way down this goes off a stick, so no icing call on the play. So this gets sent up the right side in the Northern Bears end. The Northern Bears back on it. Off the boards and out. All the way down to the ice zone, no icing called on the play. It's deflected on the way down once again. The Bears trying to get a cycle going. Christensen in on the forecheck. Down low. I believe number 5 in Hoffman. Could be wrong. So that's number 6 in Tran. Ota plays this D-to-D to Symes. Symes, her pass off of a skate of a teammate. Northern Bears work this to the net. Nice kick save on that right pad by Gina Plett. Second-year goalie for this Winnipeg Ice squad. So it'll be Carvalho. Her pass unable to go. Good defense at the line by the Northern Bears, but it gets loose to Chablik. Chablik shielding this puck, trying to feed it across to Carvalho, but that pass won't go. Coughed up, turned over into the possession of Tran, who Tran just sends this in deep. First one on it will be Delacqui. Face one way before sending a pass to Hudson. As Delacqui gets it back, sends this cross ice to Nicholas. Nicholas just before the blue line shovels this in with the backhand, and oh, bad play there. Simonson, this not good at all. Looked like she just lost an edge, and right away holding her leg, slow to get up. We're going to throw to a promo screen. Prince Albert's player gets attended to. We'll be back in just a moment. And thankfully, Simonson able to get back to the bench glide in her own power as we resume play here. 2-2 game still after a bit of a scare moments ago. It's never something you like to see, a player losing an edge and going awkwardly into the boards with velocity. It never feels good. Especially doesn't feel good if you catch the wrong spot too. Looked like she grabbed her leg right away, so hopefully lower body okay for Simonson if that's the case. As this was shoveled in to the ice end. So it's up off the boards and possessed by Boy. She takes this around her net, looks to go for a skate, takes it through the middle of her zone, through the slot with success. Up to Anderson, dumps this in deep past the red line, so no icing will be called on this play. Temple tries to get this out off the boards, but instead had it blocked up the ice. This time do work it out successfully. Talia Jones looking to make a move on Siklanka, but Siklanka stands her ground well and shuts down Jones. Physical play there from the defenseman, number 14. Jones still out there, still on it. Saucer pass up the boards to Texiera from the point. That shot catching a piece of the blocker of Shell. As this down the other way, Clarkson giving chase into the ice zone. It's Texiera first one on it. Texiera shielding this puck, sends a pass to Robbins. Robbins to Wozosensky. Wozosensky dumps this in deep. Clement gets to it first. Prince Albert Northern Bears defenseman in rowing Clement. So her D partner in Siklanka shovels this up the glass back into the ice zone as her and Ota play some catch. Ota now, she'll rush her away in, tried to make her move past her teammate, but unable to slither through. So there's a bit of confusion there, maybe spacing not exactly right for the ice to be able to attack. As this, a turnover forced. Carvalho looking to get to the net. She's in alone. Carvalho! What a stop made! I believe Shell just gets a piece of it. As Carvalho, another chance. That one not able to get through cleanly. I believe it was blocked up. Now getting the speed the other way. It's Tran. Still holding on to it. What a pass from Tran. Got it to Clarkson, but Clarkson couldn't cradle that in. Turnover forced. It'll be Tran. Her shot. Just wide of the net. Hit a stick on the way through. Pass to the point, however. Not even really close. As it missed. Teammate. Number 12 in Boy. This will be to Simonson. Great to see her back on the ice. After a scary moment moments ago. Delacqui. She'll turn this one over. It's to Cairns. Cairns whoops this down low. It stays in the Prince Albert zone. What a move by Cairns. Still with it. Loses this. Gets it to Nicholas. But Nicholas can unload it. Had her pocket picked. 10:20 remaining. Reed chases this down. Backhands it towards the net. Lost her balance. Looking for a call maybe, but getting none. For interference, perhaps. As Siklanka sends this towards her blue line. Now cross ice, it's to Anderson. Her pass cross ice intercepted by Walker. It'll be Gabby Robbins joining in to help out Talia Jones as she gets hounded on there by Prince Albert Northern Bear. This down below the goal line once again. Texiera tried kicking it to Walker, but that's unsuccessful. Turned over in PA's possession still. Now they turn it over in the ice. Look to get to speed on the attack, on the rush. Texiera stood up well there by Clement. So it allows for Prince Albert to get possession back, but a misplay. Adams, all alone Adams! Turned aside there by Shell. As Texiera, her shot turned aside by Shell again. Just fends it off there was number 31. Texiera sends it back down low. The ice getting a few more shots on the scoreboard there. They're now up to 31. It's 21 shots on goal for Prince Albert in this contest. This period, a bit of the opposite, as Prince Albert came in with 19 shots. This time around, they've been limited to only 2. But they've had plenty of offensive zone time, just unable to break through the Ice's D zone right now, which is really clamped things down in this this third period, compared to how they looked in the second and the first. As Christensen loses her stick, went off the body of Symes, as Symes has that taken away down low. A turnover forced. That shot attempt wide of the net, off of the stick of Marshall. Chablik sends this down low. Bad bounce off the boards as the Prince Albert Northern Bears will end up drawing a penalty down low. Unfortunately for Chablik, loses control in the battle, out of position a bit, and ends up being called for a trip. It's her second trip to the box tonight. As we bring Terrico onto the screen, a sponsor for all goals scored here in this third and special teams. Just the official third period sponsor in general for this weekend. As Prince Albert goes back to work on the power play, Jersey Anderson feeds us up to a point girl. She gets it back. It's Sikalenka. She receives that pass again. Back up to Anderson. Kicks us out to Clement as Clement shot off a body and out of play. .7:45 remaining. This draw, one to the wall by Prince Albert. Sent back down low. A minute 25 left in this power play. Now back to the point. Sikalenka over to Anderson. That blast saved by that right pad of Plett. The Northern Bears force a turnover, take this away by the side of the net, but that blast unable to go through from Anderson. As Hudson takes this away down low. Not strong enough up the boards to get it out, though. As 3 Northern Bears players there, only 1 Ice player as they get possession of this back. Anderson, great pass to Konechny, but fans on it. It was at the side of the net, waiting dangerously there for a Northern Bear to put it in afterwards. But they were unable to get to it. The Ice got to it first. As they go off for a change, Carvalho out there sends this in deep. She'll lurk in to the PA zone, trying to get a stick on that pass, but unable to. As Prince Albert, control of it again. 21 seconds remaining. Got to be careful for not too many girls on the ice for that penalty. Would be a delay of game. As for Prince Albert, looking for one more chance. With 6 seconds left, Tran dishes this off, but the pass off the mark. I believe Clarkson. Clarkson shot unable to go through. Texiera sacrificing the body. Getting low to block that shot. So it'll be sent out now. Looks to be icing on the play. Let's draw. Won by this Ice squad. So we are, of course, back to 5-on-5. Moments ago, the Ice killing off a penalty successfully. So it'll be Walker who walks this back to Texiera. Texiera now. She's able to maneuver her way through the neutral zone into the area of Hallie Chablik, who's fresh out of the penalty box. And as for this Prince Albert Northern Bears squad, trying to cut in, but shut down hard there defensively by Symes. So I believe number 8 in Mitchell. Wasilewski, she tries dangling through. Like a bit of a close to knee-on-knee, as in back-to-back plays. Could have been penalties for some sort of body contact. That's the risk you take when you try to get fancy and cut through. You know, there's no legal body contact. It's a physical game out here. Sometimes in the female hockey game, it can get a bit chippy. 5:12 remaining. And will we see a winner in this one tonight? Saskatchewan Female Hockey League fans and Manitoba Female Hockey League fans, or do we see another tie for the Winnipeg Ice? Do we see Prince Albert's first win on our network? Well, they'll have to kill off this penalty to give themselves the best chance. Maybe look for something shorthanded, as they are going back to the penalty box. Ice back to the power play, brought to you by Terrico. Serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry, as Clara Hudson sends that down low to Robbins. Robbins up top, back to Hudson. Hudson mishandled it before trying to pass it. Had her pass disrupted on the way through, so that's why it's back into the neutral zone, as Christensen sends this into the ice zone. B. Adams drops this back for Jones. Back to Hudson as the ice established again. Back to Jones as Jones, beyond the hash marks, sends this down to Robbins. Back to Jones. Back to Robbins. A little keep away. Robbins scores! She's been a beast from the side of the net tonight. Or I guess today. As for Robbins, she scored that sharp angle goal in the game this morning against the Eastman Select. She's in tighter this time around. She banks this in past Maggie Shell. And for the first time this weekend on our network, not sure if they ever led against Weyburn, but the Ice finally do grab a lead. And they may not be done yet. Nicholas drops us back to Cairns, but that pass off the mark. Also had Temple with her. It's Marshall heading the other way. Potential 2-on-1 developing. A shot from Marshall turned away by Plett. It's number 30 had to be sharp that time to be in the zone. So it goes off the stick of Texiera. She sends this across. To number 14 in Walker. Texiera back on it now with 3:35 remaining. Pass fed up. Oh, Temple mishandles it. Anderson almost makes her pay. Gets it back. Tried to get it to Wallen, but Temple will make up for it. Intercepted that pass to allow for the Ice to maintain possession in the offensive zone, as that one-timer denied by Shell. Ready for that one. Draw one by this Winnipeg Ice squad. It's to Wasilewski. Tried to shovel that on net, but ends up missing the target. This will remain in the corner. Chablik, her pass to the slot, not going to go for Carvalho, as she was tied up with a Northern Bears player. As for Carvalho, up to the point to Symes. Symes, her shot tipped on net, but glove down. Beautiful flash of the leather there. On number 31 in Maggie Shell. Yeah, deflections, tip shots, toughest shot, I'd say, maybe for a goaltender to be tasked with the stop, and right there Shell locked in, make a big save to still give her team the best chance possible to be able to tie this game with 2:30 remaining in this third period of action. The Ice, they lead in the shot category 35-23. They've led there for most of the night, but where they haven't led until recently is on the actual scoreboard. 3-2 for the Ice, but here, look out. Here's a chance for Tran as she shut down. Nice blocker save there by Plett. Tran had a teammate with her too, elected to shoot it. Maybe thought Plett was expecting the pass. Tried to catch her off guard, maybe. As Jones, off the backboard, sends this to Hudson. Hudson gets this to Adams. Adams to Jones. Goalie remains in net and shell for the Prince Albert Northern Bears. Delacqui loses an edge in front of the net. So it'll be to Christensen. Christensen tries to dangle past number 12 in Cairns as Cairns sends this all the way back down deep. It'll be Shell out to play it. Whips this around the left side. Met at the line by this Ice squad. They try to get it back. They do just that. Nicholas tried to send a puck towards the net, but blocked up by a Prince Albert defenseman. As both teams trying to get this loose. The Prince Albert Northern Bears running out of time here to be able to tie this thing up as we're down to a minute left in this hockey game. A minute left in regulation, but we don't go to overtime or shootout, so either end in a win or a tie. What does Jersey Anderson have to say about it? Is Anderson down low? Trying to get back to this puck. Meets the body of Nicholas instead. It's worked to the point. Just try to be worked back to that same spot. She got it from one-time blast from Jersey Anderson. That whistles wide of the net. So the net is vacant for the Northern Bears. 24 seconds remain. Anderson, short little pass to Marshall. Marshall drop to Anderson. Could this be it? What a save by Plett. The pressure not getting number 30 tonight with 13 seconds to go. Glove down, Anderson. No hand pass called. Maybe one more chance for PA as the puck still remains there. Wide of the net from Marshall. And for the Ice, can they hold on? Maybe one more chance for PA. Oh, unable to get through as it's blocked. And what a thriller here on this Saturday night in Portage. It's the Ice who survive and hold on by a score of 3-2. Madness at the end. Prince Albert fought until the very end, but they just come up short. It's deja vu on the scoreboard too. They lose 3-2 last night to a Winnipeg team. Another 3-2 loss tonight. Sub, this game a bit different. They didn't trail twice. Yesterday they had to tie up the game a few times. They got it to 2-2, but this time tonight they were in front twice. So even though you're not able to hold on to the lead, you gotta be happy with that aspect in the game that you're able to get ahead, and for the most part held a 1-goal lead for most of that third period, or for most of that second period before the Ice were able to strike. But in the third, yeah, the Ice momentum was mounting and they capitalized on it. The game-winning goal scorer tonight, Gabby Robbins, with her second of the day. We got one more matchup to show you all tonight, which we'll get to in a moment. It's the final 3-2 for the Ice. As for the last matchup, we're going to call the Weyburn Goldwings, coming off of a 10-0 win against the Pembina Valley Hawks. They go up against what I think is going to be a very motivated Eastman squad. They came into this expecting to win a couple of games, potentially. Well, Eastman currently 0-1-1 as they tied their first game of the day today against the Ice. I want to thank you all for tuning in. We're going to have the call for Weyburn and Eastman coming up at 7:30 p.m. as we conclude day 2 here shortly of this 3-day showcase in Portage La Prairie. For the Central Plains Capital Showcase, thank you to Terrico for sponsoring this third period, as well as to Elite Prospects, Movement Fitness and Performance, and Can Central Sports Cards and Memorabilia for being sponsors as well in this matchup. And for this weekend, I've been your host and play-by-play commentator, Graham, the G-Show Forsyth, thanking you for choosing G Show Productions to watch this Central Plains Showcase game tonight. The Ice end off day 2 on a high note. 3-2 win for Winnipeg over Prince Albert. Good night, Winnipeg Ice fans and Prince Albert fans. Hopefully we'll see you in the upcoming stream between Weyburn and Eastman. Good night.